Have you ever wondered why Italians and Greeks, who enjoy pasta, olive oil, and even a glass of red wine, consistently rank among the longest living people in the world? They don't count calories. They don't obsess over carbs. They don't punish themselves for eating bread or cheese. They don't fear food. Instead, they embrace it. So what's their secret? It begins with a story, not of science, but of soul. Picture this: an old stone house on a hillside in Crete. The sun has just begun to rise, casting golden light over the Aegean Sea. Inside, a grandmother hums as she chops tomatoes still warm from the garden. The scent of oregano fills the air. A pot of lentils simmers slowly, patiently. Her grandchildren are still asleep, but breakfast is already taking shape, not rushed, not packaged, but made with love. This is not a diet. This is a way of life. Today, let's explore the Mediterranean lifestyle, not just as a nutritional choice, but as a cultural heritage, a quiet, enduring wisdom passed down through generations, a gentle rebellion against the stress, shame, and speed of modern eating. For decades, much of the Western world has chased extreme approaches to food, cutting out entire food groups, fasting until dizziness kicks in, replacing meals with bitter green juices in the name of detox. The more we try to control food, the more food seems to control us. The more we restrict, the more we crave. We enter cycles of guilt, binge, and shame, all in the name of health. But what if there was a gentler way? One that nourishes both the body and the soul? In southern Italy and across the sunlit coasts of Greece, people don't diet in the way we understand it. They live, they gather, they eat. Their meals are woven into the rhythm of the day, not squeezed between meetings or eaten in front of a screen. Their kitchens are filled with simplicity and flavor. Extra virgin olive oil instead of butter or seed oils. Not measured by the tablespoon, but poured generously. Like tradition. Seasonal vegetables bursting with color and life. Tomatoes, eggplants, artichokes, picked fresh, cooked slowly. Fish and seafood more often than red meat. Grilled whole, eaten with the hands. Savored, whole grains, legumes, and nuts that fuel without overwhelming. Barley bread dipped in olive oil. Lentil soup with lemon, a handful of almonds mid-afternoon. And yes, red wine. In moderation, enjoyed with others, not to escape the day, but to deepen it. They eat slowly. They eat together. They eat with joy. Meals are not tasks to complete, they're moments to cherish. And science has taken notice. Research has shown that the Mediterranean diet is one of the healthiest in the world. It helps reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke. It protects memory and slows cognitive decline. It lowers inflammation and supports a balanced immune system. It's associated with a lower risk of certain cancers, type 2 diabetes, and even depression. But the benefits go beyond the biological. Studies suggest that those who follow this way of eating also report higher quality of life, greater life satisfaction, and a deeper sense of connection with their culture and community. There's no calorie counting, no food apps, no guilt. Just real food, real people, real presence. Perhaps the most powerful part of this lifestyle isn't what's on the plate, it's who's around it. In a small coastal village in Greece, dinner isn't a rushed affair. It's a ritual, a rhythm. The sun dips low, chairs are pulled out onto porches. Laughter echoes off the stone walls. Recipes are passed down not through cookbooks, but through hands. A bowl of olives in the center. A plate of grilled sardines. Fresh bread still warm, and everywhere, conversation, connection, community. No screens, no distractions, just presence. Because food here isn't fuel. It's love, it's memory, it's home. Let me share with you a story from Sicily, about a man named Enzo. Enzo is 82 years old. He rises with the sun and tends his small backyard garden. Tomatoes, basil, zucchini, all grown with his own hands. He doesn't jog. He doesn't lift weights, but every morning, he walks to the village market. He greets the baker by name. He chats with the fishmonger about the day's catch. He buys just enough for today. Lunch is slow, often shared with his daughter and her children. Pasta with olive oil and herbs. A simple salad, maybe a glass of wine. He eats with laughter, with stories, with peace. Enzo has no gym membership, no supplements, but his heart is strong, and his eyes still sparkle. Not because of a miracle pill, but because his life is full of movement, of meaning, of meals made with care. His story isn't unique. Across the Mediterranean, you'll find thousands like him, living not longer by chance, but by choice, by tradition, by rhythm. And then there's Sofia, a widow in her 70s, living in a whitewashed village in coastal Spain. Each morning, she walks barefoot across her tiled kitchen floor and grinds coffee by hand. For lunch, she prepares gazpacho, cold tomato soup blended with cucumber, garlic, olive oil, and a touch of vinegar. She eats outside, under a fig tree, listening to the birds. Twice a week, her friends join her for dinner. They bring whatever they have: olives, goat cheese, fresh herbs, bread from the market. They talk about grandchildren, about the changing weather, about nothing and everything. They laugh, they eat, they stay late. Sofia says she's never been on a diet, but she's been happy most of her life. And then, there's you. Maybe you live in a city. Maybe your mornings are rushed. Your lunches are eaten at a desk. Your dinner's in front of a screen. Maybe food feels like a transaction, not a celebration. But still, there's room for change. A chance to return to something quieter, older, wiser. Here are 7 gentle principles of the Mediterranean table. Not rules, not commands, just invitations. Eat whole foods, foods your grandmother would recognize. Use olive oil as your foundation, not just for cooking, but for dressing, for drizzling, for life. Fill your plate with color: reds, greens, purples, oranges. Nature is your palate. Choose seafood more often, and enjoy it slowly. With lemon and laughter. Eat with others when you can, even if it's just one person. Even if it's yourself. Fully present. Make meals rituals, not rushed stops between obligations. Let food be joy, not judgment. These are not drastic changes, but they are powerful. You don't need to move to Santorini or Sicily or Seville to live this way. You can begin right where you are. Start with one small shift. A salad dressed in olive oil. A meal without scrolling. A recipe from your grandmother. A slow breakfast on a Sunday. Or maybe, invite someone to dinner. Not for the food, but for the connection. The Mediterranean diet isn't a challenge to conquer. It's an invitation to live slower, to feel fuller, to love deeper. Let your next meal be more than just food. Let it be a pause, a prayer, a story you tell with your hands. Because food isn't just what we eat. It's how we love, how we live, and maybe, how we live longer.